A California court has given a group of public school students the right to sue the state over bad teachers. The case, which will be heard later this month, seeks to strike down 5 statutes that these children say deprive them of their right to a quality education. Now, at the crux of their case, the teacher tenure system that allows educators to become basically unfireable. If these students can somehow win in California, what would it mean for the rest of the country? Joining us now for Q&A is Kyle Olson, publisher, founder, and CEO of EAGnews.org, a service dedicated to education reform. Kyle is also the author of Indoctrination: How Useful Idiots Are Using Our Schools to Subvert American Exceptionalism. Kyle, let's talk about the crux of this case. So the tenure, dismissal, layoffs in California, the system for accomplishing any of those items there. The argument is that it violates the state constitution. But describe for me first, essentially, how hard is it to dismiss a teacher in California? How does that process unfold?
Well, it's virtually impossible. Teachers in California receive tenure after 2 years, and they basically have to commit a heinous act in order to be removed from the classroom. But even when that happens, the situation is not over, because then it heads to court where a school district has to prove that this person should have their tenure revoked and then be removed from the classroom. And so sometimes that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and years to actually accomplish that feat. And so what the students are saying is that our education is being harmed because of tenure, but also because of seniority. And basically what that provision says is that teachers will be removed from the classroom. It's essentially last in, first out.
Right.
And so the older teachers get to stay, and the younger teachers have to go when it comes to layoffs.
Thus, effectively enshrining bad teachers into the system. This is from a press release put out by the organization sponsoring the children's lawsuit. It says, ineffective teachers are entrenched in California's public school system. The superintendents of many school districts affirm that their districts are beleaguered by grossly ineffective teachers and attribute their continued employment of these teachers to the challenge statutes. Now, I want to ask you a legal question, because the legal argument being made by these students is that this enshrinement of bad teachers is a violation of their equal opportunity to a quality education. And the argument is that it affects poor and minority students the most. Tell me how that argument will work, because if the system is designed to protect bad teachers, isn't that bad teachers everywhere, in affluent school districts, poor school districts, all across the state?
Well, basically, my understanding is what happens, because I've actually read the Los Angeles teachers' contract, believe it or not, and the contract stipulates that teachers in the district are able to choose what school they teach at. And so the older teachers will go to the safer schools, the schools where maybe there isn't as much gang activity or crime or those sorts of things. And so those schools where there is gang activity and crime and all of that, those schools are left for the younger teachers, for the less inexperienced teachers, the teachers that have never experienced something like that and don't know how to handle those situations. And so what happens then is those younger teachers, like I said earlier, are the first ones to leave. So there's high teacher turnover in these schools that need it the most, need high quality teachers the most. And so it's just this cycle.
So
and that's the crux of the argument that these students are making.
So you have a disproportionate number of bad teachers going to the poor school districts. There's the violation of their equal opportunity to quality education. Quickly, before we go, Kyle, do you think lawsuits, that's going to be the path to education reform in America? Do you think these type of suits are the future?
Well, I think it is, because you look at a state like California, and the teachers union runs the show there in the legislature.
Right.
They are not going to let a reform to deal with this sort of problem go through the legislature. And so, unfortunately, the courts in this sort of situation is the way to go.
All right. We'll see if it works out for California. Kyle, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.